Welcome back to the channel, man. I'm tickled to death you showed back up. Glad you're gonna hang out with us for a while. We're gonna be doing something a little bit different today. Y'all hang tight and we're gonna get it all, you know what I mean, all up in that area there. Welcome this episode in the garage. Okay, so somebody has got to keep this machine up and running, and that means this machine has got to get back and forth to work, which means that machine has got to be more reliable than what it has been. We have developed quite a nasty miss after about a third throttle under a decent load. So we're just gonna go, you know what I mean, and we're gonna start throwing parts at it. As you can see, we got a lot of wetness going on under here. It's a mixture like water and antifreeze, oil, and there's probably some snot in there. I know there's some blood, but we got a bad oil leak back there on the drinker side of the valve cover, and probably got one over there. I'm not gonna bother looking right now. So we're gonna do injectors, coils, oil filter, spark plugs, thermostat sealant, thermostat gasket. It's actually a flat O-ring. We're going to do a valve cover gaskets. We're going to do lower intake gaskets. We're going to do the upper intake gasket. We're just going to, you know what I mean? We're just going to throw all the parts at it. Hopefully something sticks and makes this thing run a little bit better, because it is quite aggravating when you need to get up and go, you know what I mean? And you ain't got it's like it just got up and went. So I'm gonna get you set up. We're gonna get this thing tore down and see what all we get into. All right. First thing we're gonna do, get whatever sensor that is unplugged, and you're gonna need that where we're going. We're gonna loosen that. Go ahead. Loosen that. Yeah. Ow, that was my finger. Man, my belly's getting in the way. And worked it, tied it off. I may have worked on this thing before. How long do you need a bolt, really, to hold a single bracket on? For Pete's sake. Help me to, got it. All right. Let go of that. Need you over here somewhere. Not gonna need you. Obviously these got to be 13.5 inches long, so I'm gonna put them right back where they went. All right, got to unplug you, unplug. Where's your, there you are. Unplug you. Unplug you know you have to be unplugged, right? Just like so. Unplug you. Now you gotta be careful with these vacuum lines, because you sneeze on them, they break. So we'll make sure to beat and bang and twist them off everything before we finally get them out of the way. Y'all go. Well, help. Got it. Drop it. Drop it. Thank you. Oh, we gotta unplug our thermal expansion sensor. That one right there. It measures tire air pressure. It's a 2002 thing. You wouldn't get it. Now I got to get this off, which Ford, in all of their infinite wisdom, decided they would bolt that all the way down there on the block. Great. Yeah. Well, that wasn't nowhere near as tight as I thought it was going to be. My luck, the tight one will be right down there where you can't get to it. Because this, I don't know what it's called, something to do with the EGR, has got to come off in order to get the valve cover off. That's the other end of it, right there, bolted into the manifold. So what I imagine is fixing to happen is I gotta heat that and then spray it and then heat it and then spray it. And then, with any luck, hopefully it will come loose. We'll see. Before I do that, let's just see if it'll come loose. Let's just see. I'm going to use your screen because I can't see nothing. Let me get the right size wrench. We'll try this again. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Ow, that knee hurts. Let's do it this way. All right. Well, we're gonna have to spray it and possibly heat it and possibly spray it and then heat it again. God almighty, that was close to my head. Look here, I was right on the verge of breaking that thing loose. Then it dawned on me. Once I get that intake, coils, injectors, out of the way. Well, that valve cover will just go that way, won't it? So I showed it mercy, you know what I'm saying? And we'll just leave that in place. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, get these coils. We got to get the belt off this thing because you never see that again. Don't even know what it was, because the alternator has to come off in order to get the intake off. Just like so. What is that, 10 millimeter? Sure. Alternator's the best looking part of this truck. Alright, now I'm going to take that whole alternator, wiring and everything, and chunk it yon way. Got our coils loose and out over on the drinker side, and we're getting the ones out over here on the pasture side. You know, the problem that we're having here is not that any of this is hard to do per se. It's hard to get to. You'll notice half of this engine is up under the windshield, and that really makes it challenging to get to anything. It's funny, you can see everything, you just can't get to it. They can be so aggravating, because like I said, you can see everything. Getting to it, that's the problem. Drop it now. Awesome. All right, now that I found that bolt, let's see if we can get these coils up out of here. Part of one. All right. Well, that ain't never gonna work. That's a vacuum hose up here to your AC water deionization vacuum system. If you ain't pulling correct vacuum on that, forget your transmission working. What is that, 8mm? I don't know. Let's just see. What's that? This would be 8mm right here. Well, did I get it? You remember that socket I cracked a couple of videos back? Well, I just snatched it back up again. Let me go get another one. 5/16. 5/16 ought to work. It ought to. Yeah, it do. Scream all you want to. You coming out of there. That's where all the fun begins. Can't see nothing. Ugh. I can actually see it. Can I get to it? That is the question. Alright, I am on it. Got it. Not to sound all selfish. I'm gonna tell you what, I am jammed up. Right up under the fuel rail. Drop it. Yeah. Cramp, cramp, oh cramp. Gotta move. Gotcha. And sit down. See what all I can break with my clod hoppers. I am you. That's what I'm hitting. I've got to get undone. And you. You. All right, so I may have found where our water leak is coming from. If you look right there, the whole part of that is laid over. It may be, well, it is hard to see on video. It's not just squiggly, what you can see, it's actually flattened and laid over. I mean, it makes a mess of things. Look at the water down that lift and the valley. So this side over here is not bad at all. But as you can see, that valve cover, the entire gasket surface, just completely full of muddy water. And I also had an oil leak over here, which would explain the muddy water. What would also explain the muddy water is a blowed head gasket. But we're just gonna act like that's not a possibility. All right, good morning. It's a brand new day. Got my ears lowered. Did that myself. What's great about that is I throw an early morning deal. If you do hair beard combo, I throw that in for free. All right, let's see. Where were we? Oh, right there. All right. So now we got to make a choice. Do we go ahead and do spark plugs now and then do valve covers, or do valve covers now and then do spark plugs? I'm really expecting a fight, and any of you who work on 2-valve Triton engines, V8 or V10, understand the fight that I am fixing to get into. These things are known for blowing spark plugs out and stripping all of the threads out of the cylinder heads, because somehow it got past engineering that there's only 3 threads in the spark plug hole. Now, some of these I have already helicoiled and some of them I have not. So we might as well get that painful part over and just get to work on doing spark plugs, get them out of the way, then we'll pull the valve covers off. That way, if I'm in there drilling and all that crap, which I fully expect, I don't have to worry about any shavings getting under the valve covers. So I'll get you set up and we'll get started on that. What do you say? Alright, now y'all have to excuse the fan noise. You're just gonna have to deal with it because it's so hot out here. My boots already melting to the sidewalk. Look at that. Uh-oh. See that? That is Healy coil that came out with the plug. Before we forget which one that is, because we may have more than one, let's go ahead and fix that one. That's already drilled and tapped for the Healy coil. We can just put our Healy coil on our tap and screw it in that way. Nope. Maybe. It sure don't feel right. Yeah, it do. Now, what you want to do is you want to set that right on top of that. Give it a smack. Now, with any luck, we can unscrew that tap out of that Healy coil. Probably not. But we'll find out. Any predictions? Tap or tap with heating coil? Let's find out. Awesome. Tap, no Healy coil, bunch of aluminum threads. Not gonna worry about that. Boy, that is. All right, and don't be thinking that you're out of the woods now that you got the plugs out of this thing, cause this party's just getting started. It can still go way south. Click. Got it down. Quick. So I got this thing decently cleaned up. We ain't building no show car here, people. But in my quest to find that aha where the water leak is coming from, it dawned on me while I was cleaning this thing. I wonder if the leak is coming from around here, not necessarily this side. This is where the mess was at. I wonder if this is leaking in between here and here, because the gasket set that you get doesn't come with anything that goes here. It comes with your intake to head gasket and your throttle body gasket is all it comes with. So I'll make some phone calls and see if there's an intermediate gasket or something that goes right there before I pull that off and possibly destroy whatever's under there if it is a gasket. Something else that actually dawned on my mind. See that tube? That tube has got a bolt that holds it in back there to the back of the water pump and has an O-ring in it. So you can see water droplets up on this side right below the cylinder head, and I know that when that thing blows, it sprays water everywhere. So that's something else I'll be changing. And while I'm in here, if I can get up here and show you, this is your knock sensor right here. And if you'll look at that pigtail, if I can get myself situated, that pigtail is frayed all the way to the metal. I don't know whether at some time it got pinched or what. So another problem that I'm having is after about, I don't know, 3,500 or so RPMs, it's like somebody flips a light switch. It drops all kinds of power. It feels like you're pulling a 5,000-pound trailer just out of nowhere. It'll be pulling just fine, and then all of a sudden it'll stumble. It won't stumble, no stumble at all. It will immediately drop power. And what I believe is going on, I believe when that thing gets under load, I believe it's picking up a false knock in the bottom end, and it's pulling all kinds of timing out of the engine. That would also explain why the spark plugs look the way they looked. Because I climb a hill going to work and I climb a hill coming back from work. So I'm constantly in that area where this thing feels like, if that's what's going on, it feels like it's just jerking all kinds of timing out of it. So I've got one of those ordered, and it'll be here around 3 o'clock today. I've also got that tube that goes from the back of the water pump up to the heater hose. I've got it ordered, and I've got this what they say is that gasket that goes in between here, and but I won't pull that apart until I actually go pick that gasket up to make sure it is the right thing. But for now, I'm going to continue cleaning, and I've got to get the valve covers off this thing. So I'm going to clean a little bit more, then I'll bring you back when it's time to get the valve covers off. So I've got this thing halfway cleaned up. We're going to get the knock sensor out of it real quick. Now, you make sure to fall somewhere where I can't get you. Every bit of that is frayed, and I believe that's what's giving us our false knock signal. This should be fun. This tube right here has 2 studs like that right there that go through from the back side, from the transmission side, to one goes through right there, and one goes through up under there. And that's what holds this tube in here. Now, the one on the left has got a ground wire going to it. And if you'll notice, the stud has got a stud on top of it. So that goes in, this part holds that tube in, and then you have a ground with a nut that goes on top of this. Now we'll see if we can get this tube out of here. And yes, that is pillows to the right. Keep living. You'll get there. For some reason, I was hoping that would just come out. I know it has an O-ring on it. Let me get a... Do I have one? Nope. Let me go get a screwdriver. And we'll see if we can pry this thing up out of here. Like so. Everything is slicker than a minnows dick, I'll just tell you.
I said now black, baby, where have you been? It's been a long time since we were friends now. Yeah. lifts up one of her wings to let me by her side. Take that ride. She lifts up one of her wings to let me by her side.
Well, does diesel oil work? I don't see a single bit of sludge. Looks pretty dad burn clean to me.